Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I'm continuing my first day of recording. As you would probably see if you're watching this video, that my channel is very new. I've already played about a couple of hours of Genshin Impact, so I made a 3-part video. If you enjoy this and if you like my gameplay commentary, do check those out as well. In those videos, I've mentioned that my plan is to play a bunch of games over the Christmas break as I'm off from work. And my goal is to start maybe 2 to 3 series simultaneously. The games that I plan to play are Genshin Impact, Horizon Forbidden West, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I think I'll start with those. But in between, I thought we can try Forspoken Demo because this is a very interesting game that I've been following on YouTube. The combat system is amazing. Full disclosure, I have played the demo before for about an hour. I haven't played a lot of it. I did enjoy the combat a lot, but the world setting and the lore so far, I wasn't really into it, but hey, you know what? Maybe we'll try playing it together and see how it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a brand new game, go through the tutorial, and then pretty much into the open world. Let's see how it is. Hopefully we're able to complete it within 2 to 3 parts, and you will enjoy it. Yeah, so without fading any further, let's begin. I also plan to play a lot more games in the next year. I am subscribed to PlayStation Plus, so there are a
Frey
bunch.
Daydreamer, cat lover, New Yorker. On a fateful evening, her life changed drastically when she was mysteriously transported to the beautiful, treacherous land of Athia. Frey arrives with a magical, sentient bracelet inexplicably wrapped around her arm, then discovers she can cast powerful spells and use magic to swiftly traverse the sprawling landscapes. The last remnants of Athia's populace soon look to Frey as their only hope for confronting the Tantas, once benevolent matriarchs who now rule as maddened and evil sorceresses. Reluctant to help, but desperate to find a way back home, Frey sets off on a journey through this strange and dangerous land.
All right. So it's good that they're giving you a brief history or like an introduction of how she got into this world. If you're not following their YouTube videos, trailers, you wouldn't know, but if you've been following it, you already know the story kind of. So it's good that they've added that to the demo, and I think it helps new players get into the lore or the world of Athia right away. So yeah, I'll begin the tutorial even though I've done it before, but since it's a new playthrough and for those that are interested, I think this will be a good one. So yeah, let's say yes. Okay. So the movement in this game feels very heavy. There's a lot of weight to the character, like it's not fluid or instant when you're rotating or moving it around. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm used to having game characters pretty lightweight, like as soon as you turn them, they just turn immediately. But I think this is just a Square Enix thing, like that's how they build their games. I haven't played any of their other games yet, but I mean, I don't mind it. It's pretty cool. And the other thing that I like is they made the parkour very easy. Like all you have to do is move forward and hold the circle button, and she will basically automatically do all the parkour movements, which is great. There's no stamina bar.
This doesn't feel so bad.
Not for you, maybe. Normal human beings, on the other hand.
Hey, I am a normal human being, thank you very much.
I like the British
Something's
accent
there.
as well.
What shall we do?
All right, so the next
Could
part
pretend we
is...
didn't notice.
Next part is probably to fight. But yeah, as I was saying, the parkour system is implemented really well. There's no stamina bar. So basically you can run around the map really fast, as well as, oh,
This should be
we
easy
got
enough.
enemy. All right. To be honest, I forgot how to play. I played this like last week, and now I don't remember. Okay. Use attack magic to defeat the oncoming enemies. Press R2 to unleash an attack spell, or hold down to build up before casting. Switch between various attack spells by using R1 to open the spell switching menu. Okay, now I remember. But let's kill them first and then I'll explain. So if I just press R2, it's just gonna shoot some rocks. But if I hold R2, it's gonna build up this little rock in front of us, and then I can basically blast it at them. And miss like that. Sorry. Okay, how about this one? There you go. That's a better way of doing it. It feels very powerful. The PlayStation control has a little haptic feedback as well as resistance on the R2 button. So you have to press it hard when you're holding it. It does resist a little bit, which I think is a really neat feature. But again, I believe this is a PlayStation exclusive, so implementing those PlayStation features are a must if you're going to be an exclusive game. Alright, so what is the next tutorial? Support magic provides various beneficial effects. You can use it to gain tactical advantages such as slowing or even stopping fast-moving enemies, allowing you to blast them with attack spell. Press L2 to cast a support spell and L1 to open a menu that will allow you to switch between them. Alright, so this is L2, L1.
Gotcha.
So these are my supporting skills. I've got bind, which the enemies up in a tangle of weeds. Tendril sends an ivy whip snake out around you that deals damage over the surrounding areas and heals based on how much it does. That one's a pretty cool one. I've used it before. Leech, causing magical poison, curing plants to spring forth from within you. I think I've used this one, but I didn't get it, so I don't use it often. I've used binding quite often and the tendril. Disperse causes flowers to spring up on a spot of your choosing that pick up nearby rocks and fling an enemy. So I'll use them all eventually in my playthrough, but let's start with binding first. So I believe it will basically trap them in a little area. So I'll use L1 and then wait, can I even use it? Maybe I don't have enough energy. Oh, it's on cooldown. Never mind. Let's use another spell, hold on. Something that is not on cooldown.
Yep.
Let's use the whip. There we go, and then it heals us as well. And then you go back to your basic attacks, which I'm using. There's Frey's magic and another magic I forgot. Basically, one is like rock heavy based attacks and the other one is fire. So I think if I press R1, you can see all my normal attacks and hold attacks that I can change to. This is our default, which is the burst of lumps of explosive rocks, or you hold it and it builds up and just throws a giant rock at them. The other one is more defensive, where you create a shield and then pushes the shield forward to an enemy if you hold R2. And then the third one is scatter shot, fires a steady stream of rocks. So it's almost like a gun. And I think this is probably the best one amongst the three. So what will happen is if I hold R2, it just shoots like a gun and then ends with a big blast. But the normals are still the same. I think no matter which of the three you choose, if you're just tapping R2, it'll, sorry, that's a hold. If you're tapping R2, it'll all be the same. The only difference is when you hold them. So the burst, this one's pretty good due to the haptic feedback. It just feels very powerful, especially when you release it and hit an enemy. And of course you say the F word. And then the shield, I didn't use it much, but I think in the future when the enemies are much stronger, this could be pretty good. just to defend yourself, and then when you release it, you just push the shield into them. So let's go back to choosing the scatter shot, and then for the support skills, bind is back, so let's try that. We already tried the tendril, so I'll show the bind on the next one. Okay, let's do some parkour. Oh, hold on, we gotta collect this energy. I think that is used to level up your skills down the line, so plus 39 is good. All right, we got a few more enemies here. All right, switching between spell sets. So you can use another style of magic by switching to the appropriate spell set. Press L1 plus R1 to open the spell switching menu, then select from the 2 available styles with R. So this essentially is saying that I can change between Frey's magic and Sila's magic, which is more fire-based. Frey's mostly around nature, or specifically rocks in this case. Sila's magic is pretty cool. So as soon as you change the magic style, your support menu changes. So as you can see, we have 3 different support skills now. We have charge, which is a forward rush with a magical shield that drives enemies back on impact. Summons multiple fury swords that protect you by attacking enemies while you're charging up your magic. I really like this one, I use it a lot. And crucible, enclose the area in fury wall, inside which attack power is increased. Probably better down the line, but initially I think this one's pretty cool. So let's set it to that one in this fight. And then for the holding R2 attack, you've got the Rage Slice, unleashes flurry of magical punches. Okay, hold on.
Fuck!
Let me make my YouTube tutorial. Okay. So when I changed to Sila's magic, I got a sword instead of shooting rocks at them. And by pressing R2, it's just like a sword swinging. But if I hold R2, then she engulfs her fists into flames, and then charges them with a quick attacks, and then she releases, when you release R2, it shoots a powerful fire move. I don't know what it's called, but that's the Rage Slice spell that we've chosen. If I choose the Arc Slice, a lightning quick area slice with a huge magical sword. In mid-air, it won't go as far, but will deal more damage.
Let's do some
So again,
damage.
just pressing R2 is the regular sword, but when I hold and release, so it's built up the long sword, but I have to release it to basically swing.
Feels like I could breathe easy all of a sudden.
It doesn't feel that powerful, so I don't really enjoy that spell. The last one in Sila's magic is the Blast Slice, which is a magical spear that gets thrown at an enemy and damages them, and the surrounding area flies further and hits harder from midair. So you build up this spear, then basically aim at an enemy, which will be automatically selected when you're facing one, and then she will shoot a spear at it. Pretty meh, but I believe it's because it's at a lower level. In the future,
Perhaps. They seem more than happy to continue.
In the future, when you level it up further, it'll become stronger. Nope. So that is the tutorial. They teach you basic movement, basic attacks, charge attacks, and so on. And then you're in the open world. All right. Check objectives. Go to Central Refuge in the Water Garden. Okay, let's do that first. Oh, it was already selected. The other thing that you can see here is of course the map. I don't think it's that big of a map, but because it's a demo, I think it's big enough. I've only gone to this bridge in the past. Fought a few enemies, and then I went to, I believe, one of these forts or a house, and that's it. Like, I haven't gone out to explore any further. I haven't done any of the objectives, so we'll do this together in the gameplay. When I first opened this and the last time I played, I was so confused. I was like, what are these things? It looks so overwhelming. But it's pretty straightforward. Like if I go to the right, hold on, what is, switch skill tree is right side. Yeah, there you go. So it's basically Sila's magic and Frey's magic, or sorry, Frey's magic and Sila's magic. And it has its own tree of all the skills. As you go further out, basically your skills that we saw in the wheel, they basically level up further. So you got level 1, level 2, level 3. As you will see, this one is essentially the charge skill, which we already have. And then this is the other engulfing wall of fire that increases your damage within the area. But as you can see, when you go further, some of those skills are essentially improving, or you're learning a brand new skill. So I think if you go here, that's a brand new skill. And then that's just the next level of that skill. So then you kind of, it gets kind of easier to follow. You basically start in the center and you just spread out. By default, we already have some skills unlocked. But then you can, for example, here you go. This one was level 1 conflagration. And then you got level 2 where the fire spread is much, much wider and frankly really awesome looking. And level 3, which is the last level, is pretty much just whoa, triple explosion, everything coming down in fire. That looks sick. But you need 142 energy to get here. We only have 39, and we have to unlock this at 76 first, and then 142 after. But yeah, that's pretty much how this tree skill works. On this side, you've got the, is that a new skill? No, this is Blast Slice. Yeah, it is a new skill. I think this is Blast Slice level 2. So the spear that we threw earlier, this is level 2 of it. Basically, I guess it spreads into multiple spears once it hits an enemy. And then level 3, what will it do? A much bigger spread. But I like that there are like new skills that we can learn as well, not just level up the existing ones. This is my favorite though. Just goes into melee stands and blasts people with fire. Quick attacks. Yeah, that looks really fun. Alright, so that's the Sila's magic, and then the Frey is similar where all those rock, shield, whatever we saw, you can level them up further or learn some brand new skills. This one's amazing. I think this is a special move or ultimate move, which you need to build up some stamina or power, and then you can press L1 and L2 and R2 together to release it. It's pretty sick. I did try it a couple of times. Very powerful move, and hits a lot of enemies at once. There's also gear. They've done a really interesting thing with gears where they all have different stats. So it's not just about the appearances. As you can see, this one, Surge Magic Recharge, it says Surge Magic Recharge Rate Boosted. This one improves critical hit rate when HP is high. This one's damage reduced when cuff blocks and so on. So I like that it's not just about the appearances, they have a purpose as well. So I think the best one is by default the recharge rate, which you need to basically use all your magic. So I'll keep it as it is. And then the other one was the necklace. Same thing, you can choose different necklaces and they all have different effects. I'm gonna keep the default one for this case. This was really interesting. I thought that was pretty cool that each hand can have a different nail polish. And then each nail polish basically has different substats to it that improves certain magic or damage. And I think that's pretty interesting because you're never going to see the visual effect of it. You're not going to see the hands or the nails of the character. But just having these additional options to customize your character and give them different magic strengths or powers, I think that's pretty cool. Again, I'm not going to go through them yet. If you want to see detailed view of what each does, you can pause the video and just read their description, because I think the default ones are pretty good and I don't need to do anything else. I haven't done anything with the resources in my original play, so I'm not gonna bother doing any more. I'm not gonna, I don't know what they mean. Maybe down the line you can create some spells, healing potions, you know, the typical RPG game style crafting. Archives, I don't know, probably, what does it even mean? Oh, just maybe descriptions about stuff and their story. But that's the menu. Let's go back to going through the objectives, because I want to keep this playthrough relatively straightforward. I will go around a little bit to kill some of the enemies. I remember last time I went here and there were some animals that we fought, and I thought that was really odd. Like, that's the type of enemies we're gonna fight. I don't know. It just kind of felt a little bit lame when there's no like real enemies per se. It's just enemies. It's just animals.
Well, finish the job.
All right. Oh, I have the spear spell selected. So the way to dodge is, I think you just kind of do the parkour, and she will automatically dodge certain incoming attacks, which is kind of handy, like makes it a little bit easier to dodge, and also it's cool. She will do some random animation depending on the attack type she's receiving. But anyways, let's get back to, let's use some support spells. Let's enclose the area with fiery walls. All right. So you select the area. You can see when I press L2, there's a mark, and then when I release it, it's gonna blast. And then,
Consider getting hit a little less.
so my attack damage should be increased now. I'll use my rage slice. Am I on fire? I can't even tell. So much happening. Okay. Let's switch back to Frey's magic and use rocks to kill this bird. Done.
Ooh, gross.
Whoa, there's more. Okay. Where did they go? I think I can lock down with R3. There, yeah, I can lock down. Sorry, the controls are not the easiest when you have to
Is that supposed to be helpful?
kill a flying bird.
Feeling weary at all?
Not... okay, maybe a little.
I did notice that the bracelet and her are constantly like being sarcastic or arguing with each other. It's funny occasionally, but sometimes it gets a little bit too much. Like they're trying too hard to be kind of sassy or cool. But so far it's not too annoying. So yeah, the parkour system is really fun. I love that you can travel from point A to B so fast without losing any stamina, mana, or anything that other games enforce on you, which allows you to explore the map much faster. All right, I do remember coming into this house.
Beyond the door, she was greeted by the most miraculous sight.
Somewhere to lie the fuck down.
So many F-bombs.
Thinking
like,
of making
chill,
something?
bro. So this is where you can craft or upgrade using the materials that you collect in the world. I don't have any materials that I collected so far, but maybe we have some by default. So let's see, can we upgrade this? How do I do it? Surge magic, required materials, spine stone. Okay, so I cannot upgrade it because I only have one spine stone and I need 20. Oh. Okay, so that's the upgrade menu. What is the craft menu? Healing, yep, healing potions and increase material pouch capacity. I need 1 feather and I don't have any. And can I craft this? Nope. Okay, but I think this is kind of like your home base. So you can come back, craft, upgrade, or I remember you can rest and sleep. I don't know what's the benefit of the sleep. I don't know if it's like the time goes on and the time turns from day to night, or you just heal yourself. Oh, there you go. It answered my question. Rest in order to restore your health. Currently my health is full, but you know what? For the purpose of the demo, I'll show you that you can sleep. And then you wake up with perfect hair, which is common in games and
Now.
movies.
Oh, come on. 5 more minutes.
Very ladylike.
What, I can't even yawn now?
As you saw, just more sarcastic comments between the two. The other thing I noticed in this game is that it is extremely bright. Like I had to lower the settings quite drastically. It was much brighter than this before, and I don't know why they've gone with this. It's really hard to see some of the enemies or materials in the world because it's just so damn bright. But it looks pretty decent. I would say the strength of this game is definitely the combat and all the mixing of different magics and moves. But the enemies, the world, so far is pretty bleak. I am not impressed, but we'll see as the demo progresses. Maybe it gets better. So what I'll do next is...
This is more than enough. Thanks.
What I'll do is I'll stop part 1 here because I think it's already pretty lengthy, and we'll focus on the gameplay in part 2. Part 1 was quite preachy. I had to kind of go through the tutorial and the movement and my opinions about things. But I think in part 2, part 3, I'll just focus on the objectives and do a little bit of side missions if there are enemies and stuff. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you don't like it. I have no experience in making videos, so I just go with the flow. And all I want to do is play some cool games during the break and hopefully share them and you guys enjoy them just as much. Do leave your feedback, whether I did well or whatever I didn't do good. I'm open to all criticism. But yeah, thank you so much. If you stayed this long, thank you for watching, and I will see you in part 2. Take care.